Hi, you guys. Today we're going to be reviewing an affirmation by Florence Scovel Shinn. Today I will review my experience with affirmation I am wide awake to my good and I never miss a trick by Florence Scovel Shinn. Was published in her book The Secret Door to Success in chapter 12, page 165, under the title or chapter title Catch Up with Your Good. Pretty much all of her works are now in the public domain because she was an author during the 1920s, and it has been more than enough time. I think it has to be 65 years from the time that the author passes away for the work to be considered in the public domain. Okay, pretty much all of her work is now public domain, and you can read them anywhere online or purchase them on Amazon. Anyone can print and sell her work because it's in the public domain. But a lot of distributors, they don't want to sell public domain because they've got their own rules. So you could, however, nothing stops you from basically going to a like publishing company. I know there's one in Lodi, and if you live in California, there's one in Lodi. And right when you come in from the on ramp and you head down towards basically Lodi, you see it right there. I don't know if it's still there, but it used to be there. And they're a printing press. So you have to go to a printing press. If you wanted to actually print these public domain works and sell them, you can. And I know like CVS used to have a lot of like public domain books for super cheap. They were like $1 each, and it was amazing. I don't know if they carry them anymore because I'm never really in there anymore. But um, the results I had when I said trick versus when I said treat. So what I had to do was I had to switch it from trick to treat because when I said trick, nothing good happened to me. So I started to say I'm wide awake to my good and I never miss a treat. And what happened then was that I just started getting invited to a lot more social events, and just I got invited to a lot of events that there was free food basically. There really was. There was a lot of free food, and that was one of my like motivations at the time as a, you know, student that, working part-time and not having that much at the time because I was working in the education industry, and I basically had to save like every dime to basically pay my taxes because I was paying like 50% of all the money that I had made uh, in the year was going to go back into the taxes and to pay, the government. And so um, it was like like going on like my second year, I think it was, like working in the education industry, and I just knew like I had to save every dime. And so what happened was that I started to get invited to all of these things, and I made a lot of like connections and friendships and stuff like that at the time, but they were really all temporary. I will say that because it is true. And you know, I think that the other issue that I found with this affirmation, when you say trick, I don't know. It just seemed like a lot of strange things happened to me during that time, and for that reason, I don't really like to say the word trick with this affirmation. So I just say I'm awake to my good and I never miss a treat. And I found that that had way better results uh, for me. I was able to basically get a lot of free food that way. Oddly enough, uh, that was the result of this affirmation. Free food. It's strange. You wouldn't imagine it or think about it that way. But yeah, that was my result. And I wanted to basically tell you guys that if you change it to treat, I give it a 5 star. If you change it to trick, I just didn't have any good results. So I would just say I rated a 1 star. and proceed with caution. But if you change it to treat, let me tell you, you will make a lot of connections. There will be a lot of like social events, a lot of social interaction. And I met a lot of people that way. I actually met one of my best friends that way. Um, and and yeah, so keep that in mind when you're saying this affirmation and take care of yourselves.